The council chambers of Virex Prime stood like a cathedral of stars. It hovered in orbit above the shining core worlds, a massive ring of glass and alloy. Inside, the rulers of the galaxy gathered, tall, proud beings from dozens of systems. Some had scales, others fur, some no faces at all. Their voices filled the chamber, rising like waves. Today's session was about Earth. "Let's get this over with," sneered Valak Thoin, arch-strategist of the Relari Dominion. His skin was silver blue, his long fingers curled like claws. He sat at the front of the chamber, eyes half-lidded in boredom. "The humans have something to say? Let them speak, so we can all enjoy the joke." A ripple of laughter spread through the chamber. From the lower platform, Commander Jackson Morrow stood. He wore a simple gray uniform. No medals, no flashy armor. Just a dark band across his chest, Earth's symbol. His expression didn't change as he looked around the chamber. "I am here," he said clearly, "to represent Earth's position in this growing threat from the unknown region." Another council member, a floating orb of light called Zerial of the Mind Cluster, hummed with amusement. "Earth has no fleets. No reach. Why do they speak in a military session?" Zerial asked. Jackson continued, calm and measured. "Earth has been watching the outer systems. Something is out there. Something we have not seen before." Valak leaned forward. "And what would Earth know of such things? Your probes are scraps. Your ships are fossils. What could you possibly offer us?" A murmur of agreement passed through the council. One counselor whispered, "They still burn fuel, don't they?" Jackson ignored them. "We have intelligence," he said. "And we have made preparations." "Preparations?" Valak laughed openly now. "What did you prepare, Commander?" A motivational speech. More laughter followed. Some slapped the table, others shook their heads. Jackson didn't smile. He didn't flinch. "Our data shows the pattern of silence across the border colonies is not random. We believe something is coming. We request that the Council take it seriously." Valak stood, his robes sweeping behind him. "You request?" "Earth does not request things here. Earth obeys. Or is removed." He waved a hand toward the vote sphere. A red circle appeared over Earth's emblem. "Motion to deny Earth any further speaking time," Valak declared. No one argued. Jackson looked up at the sea of faces, leaders, generals, ambassadors. All of them older, richer, more advanced than anything on Earth. All of them convinced of their own power. None of them listening. He stepped back without protest. The Earth delegation's lights dimmed. Behind him, the chamber continued without him. He had expected this. In truth, he had hoped for it. As he walked through the polished halls toward the shuttle bay, his aide, Lieutenant Mara Vance, met him. She was younger, but sharp-eyed and quiet. "They didn't even let you finish," she said. "I finished what I needed," Jackson replied. They entered the lift and began the descent to the docking ring. "Are we going home, sir?" Mara asked. Jackson looked out the window, toward the dark stretch of stars beyond the council's space. Somewhere out there, the silence was spreading. Systems going dark. No signals. No survivors. He tapped a message into his wrist console. It sent a single encrypted signal. No words, just a code. The black Dreadnought would launch within the hour. Jackson gave a small nod to himself. "They think we're weak," he said quietly. "Let them think it. We'll let our answer speak for us." He didn't smile. But something in his eyes had changed, hard and clear, like steel in sunlight. He turned away from the stars. The skies above Earth were calm, but under the surface, everything was moving. Deep beneath the icy waters of the Southern Ocean, hidden far from satellites and sensors, was Fortress Eclipse, Earth's most secret military facility. It had no towers, no runways, no lights. Just a massive black dome buried in the seafloor, completely invisible to the outside world. Inside, a storm of activity buzzed around Commander Jackson Morrow. He had returned to Earth only hours after the council meeting. There was no time to waste. The briefing room was quiet when he entered. Only a few people were seated, scientists, admirals, and technicians. All of them turned as Jackson entered. In the center of the room, a hologram of a ship rotated slowly in the air. The Black Dreadnought. "She's ready," said Dr. Alaris Singh, the ship's lead engineer. She was small, sharp-eyed, and always straight to the point. "Final systems check complete. Reactor stable. Weapons charged. The cloak is holding." Jackson nodded. "Good. What about the AI?" "Fully integrated," Singh replied. "It's fast. Smarter than anything the Council's got. It adapts in real time. Doesn't just follow orders, it learns from them." Across the table, Admiral Keenan Rowe frowned. His uniform was crisp, his voice sharp. "Commander, I hope you understand the risk, Rose said. If we launch her now, Earth's secret is gone. The Council will know. They already laughed at us, Jackson replied calmly. Let them. We're not doing this for respect. We're doing it because something is coming, and the Council won't stop it. Ro leaned forward. What exactly do you think is out there? Jackson pressed a button. The hologram shifted. Dozens of red dots lit up a sector of space near the unknown region. These are colonies that went dark in the last 8 months. No distress calls. No debris. Just gone. Singh added quietly, even Council scouts haven't returned from those zones. Jackson pointed at the map. We sent out silent probes 2 months ago. Just a few. We recovered one. He tapped another control. The screen changed. A shaky video played. Stars shifted. Then a shadow, huge, unnatural, crossed the view. The feed crackled, then cut to static. The room went silent. We don't know what it is, Jackson said. But it moves fast. And it doesn't leave survivors. Admiral Rowe leaned back slowly. You want to engage? No, Jackson said. Not yet. I want to watch. Listen. Learn. If we're going to protect Earth, we need to understand what we're dealing with. Rowe sighed. And if the Council finds out we're running an unsanctioned military operation in forbidden space? They won't, Jackson said. Not until we make our move. And when we do, the Council won't matter. There was a long pause. Then Rowe nodded. You have clearance to launch. 30 minutes later, Jackson stood on the hangar deck. The black Dreadnought loomed before him. It was massive, almost a city, dark as the void, shaped like a blade. Its hull reflected no light. It seemed to disappear when you looked directly at it. It was built not just for war, but for silence. A ship designed never to be seen, until it was too late. Mara Vance joined him at the boarding ramp. She wore her pilot rig and carried a datapad under one arm. Cruise aboard, she said. Systems green across the board. Ready when you are. Jackson gave her a short nod. Let's begin. They walked up the ramp and into the ship. Inside, the black Dreadnought felt alive. Lights pulsed faintly along the walls. The air hummed with quiet energy. The bridge was sleek, stripped down, with every system connected through the ship's core AI. The voice of the AI, calm and neutral, echoed through the chamber. Commander Morrow. Welcome aboard. Orders, please. Full launch sequence, Jackson said. Stealth mode active. Plot course to the border colonies. Confirmed. Launching in 60 seconds. The engines powered up without sound. No flames. No vibration. Just a quiet shift in gravity. Outside, the ocean boiled briefly. Then the ship rose from the sea, cloaked in darkness, vanishing into the sky. No one saw it leave. As they moved past Earth's orbit, Jackson sat in the command chair. He looked out at the stars. We're not just watching, he said quietly. We're warning them. Mara looked over from her console. And if they don't listen? Jackson didn't blink. Then we'll show them. Far ahead, the border systems waited. Silent. Empty. The black Dreadnought flew on Earth's shadow, finally awake. The black Dreadnought cruised through deep space like a ghost. Its cloaking field bent light around the hull. Sensors ran silently. No signal, no trace. It was invisible to the galaxy. Inside, the crew moved with quiet focus. Every station was manned by Earth's best. Engineers, tacticians, pilots, they all knew the mission. They all knew what was at stake. Commander Jackson Morrow sat in the center of the bridge. His eyes were fixed on the main display, where a cluster of stars shimmered ahead. They were approaching Outpost Trailon 6, a mid-sized colony world that had gone dark 4 weeks ago. It belonged to the Council, run by a mix of species. It had a defense grid and long-range scanners. It should not have fallen silent. And yet, no one had answered hails. No ships had returned. Coming into sensor range, said Lieutenant Mara Vance. Her voice was calm, steady. Drop cloak, but only on passive scan. No active systems, Jackson said. The stars shifted slightly. The ship slowed. The image of Trailon 6 appeared on the main screen. The planet was dead. The atmosphere was still there. The oceans looked untouched. But the cities, dozens of them, were blackened. Entire power grids were down. Satellite rings floated in pieces. There was no movement. No heat signatures. No survivors. Life signs. Jackson asked quietly. None, said the sensor officer. Not even animals. It's sterile. Jackson leaned forward. Scan for energy trails. Look for anything that doesn't belong. The crew worked in silence. Data scrolled across screens. Then a red mark flashed. We've got something, said Mara. Large debris field. Not from the planet. It's in orbit, moving slow. Visual. The display changed. A broken ship floated through the void council design, but shattered. It was a patrol cruiser, split nearly in half. Burn marks covered the hull. No escape pods launched. No signs of internal explosions. Just destruction, clean and complete. Then something else came into view. Beyond the wreckage, drifting in the shadow of a moon, was another ship. But it wasn't a council design. It wasn't Earth's either. It was massive, almost the size of the Dreadnought. Its shape was wrong sharp angles, like an insect made of metal. Its surface pulsed faintly, like it was alive. Long tendrils trailed behind it, twitching slowly. "It's not moving," Mara said. "Could be dead." "We're sleeping," Jackson replied. He stood slowly. "Bring weapons online." Quietly. The crew obeyed. Then, without warning, the alien ship moved. It turned sharply toward them. Even cloaked, it had seen them. "Evasive," Jackson barked. The black Dreadnought banked hard. A blast of energy streaked past, silent and bright green. It missed, but only just. "They can see through our cloak," said Mara. "Target their weapons. Fire when ready." The Dreadnought fired. 2 Singularity missiles shot from the belly of the ship. They were invisible at first, but the moment they neared the alien craft, gravity twisted around them. The enemy ship tried to dodge, but it was too slow. Both missiles hit. A blast of black light rippled across space. The alien ship crumpled inward, crushed by its own weight. A final twitch of its tendrils, then silence. It was over in seconds. The crew sat in silence. No one cheered. "That was a scout," Jackson said. "Just one. A forward eye." Mara's hands hovered above the controls. "If that was a scout." "There's a fleet behind it," Jackson finished. "Plot long-range scans. Look for patterns. Movement. I want to know where they're going." The results came quickly. Sensor echoes, too far to see clearly, but moving fast. Hundreds of ships, maybe more. All headed in the same direction. Toward Virex Prime. Toward the Council. Jackson stared at the screen. "They're not just attacking colonies. They're moving with purpose." He turned to his crew. "Send a coded warning to Earth. Then prepare the jump drive." Mara looked at him. "Where are we going?" Jackson's voice was steady. "To the Council." "They're still laughing. Time to change that." The black Dreadnought turned slowly in space. Its engines flared with quiet power. Then, with a flash of blue light, it jumped to faster-than-light speed, leaving the dead colony behind. Virex Prime gleamed under the light of 3 suns. It was the crown jewel of the galaxy, a world of towering cities, floating palaces, and orbiting rings of trade and defense. And yet, within its proud halls, fear was beginning to take root. Inside the High Council chamber, the mood had shifted. The laughter was gone. The jokes had stopped. The outer systems were falling. Reports were coming in too fast to cover up. Refugee ships clogged the space lanes. Patrols sent to investigate never returned. Entire colonies vanished, not destroyed in fire, but erased in silence. Valak Thoin stood at the center platform, his voice sharp. "There is no evidence these events are connected. We should not jump to panic. It is likely sabotage, local uprisings, or coordinated pirate activity." Several counselors nodded, desperate to believe him. Others did not. A representative from the Talari species, a pale, thin figure with sunken eyes, rose slowly. 15 systems. Gone. No messages. No survivors. No patterns, except direction. They are moving. This is not piracy. This is war. Valak's eyes narrowed. "Even if that were true, what would you have us do? We are scattered, uncoordinated. Who leads the defense? The Relari? The Council of Stars? Earth?" He sneered at the last word. Another voice spoke. This one from a small, dark-skinned human representative named Senator Rieslin. "Earth warned you. Commander Mara warned you." Valak laughed coldly. "Yes. And Earth ran home when we refused to listen. Let them hide behind their clouds." Before Reese could reply, the chamber shook. Not violently, but noticeably. Lights dimmed for a second. A hush fell over the entire hall. A security officer ran in, breathless. Unscheduled arrival in planetary orbit. Massive vessel. No transponder. It just appeared out of nowhere. The screen above the chamber lit up. And there it was. A ship. Silent. Black. Immense. It hung in space like a blade forged from the void itself. No visible engines. No lights. No markings. Just its shape, dark, sharp, waiting. And then, in perfect sync, Earth's communication code flashed on screen. The black Dreadnought had arrived. Inside the command bridge, Commander Jackson Morrow stood at the viewport. His hands were behind his back, face calm. The planet below shimmered like a gem. He could feel the silence reaching up from it. "They see us," Mara Vance said quietly from her console. "They need to," Jackson replied. Back in the council chamber, chaos had broken loose. "That ship isn't in any records," shouted a Corran general. "It's a threat. A weapon. Is that Earth's doing?" Valak turned pale. He stared at the ship, saying nothing. Then the screen changed again. Jackson Morrow's face appeared. Calm. Sharp. Focused. "This is Commander Morrow of Earth. Your outer systems are under attack. The enemy is real, and it is coming for you." Earth was mocked, he continued. Dismissed. But we did not sit idle. We built the Black Dreadnought for this very moment. You can keep arguing, or you can survive. Choose. The screen went dark. For a long time, no one moved. Even Valak was silent. Then Riesland stood. "I propose immediate emergency powers to Earth's command. Let Commander Morrow lead the defense." No one opposed it. Not this time. On the Dreadnought, data streamed across the bridge. Enemy fleet projections. "Pads ETA." Mara looked up. "The swarm will reach the outer moons within 2 days. No council fleet is fast enough to intercept." "We are," Jackson said. "Prep our weapons. Full tactical array. And open a line to every commander on Virex Prime. Tell them. Earth leads now." The Dreadnought moved slowly into position, casting a shadow over the planet below. Once ignored, now the only hope. Jackson stared out into the dark. He knew this was just the beginning, and soon the true test would come. Darkness fell over Virex Prime, but not from night. The stars were gone, blotted out by the incoming swarm. They came like a living wave. Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. Long and jagged. Sharp as knives. They moved without formation, but with terrifying coordination. No lights. No signals. No warning. They didn't come to talk. They came to consume. From the high orbit of Virex Prime, the Black Dreadnought stood between the planet and destruction. It was still. Silent. Waiting. On the bridge, Commander Jackson Morrow studied the readings. The enemy ships were now just minutes away. "All council fleets in position?" he asked. "Scattered and uncoordinated," Lieutenant Mara Vance replied. "They're trying, but they've never fought as one force." "They will now," Jackson said. "Patch me through." Within seconds, every commander, general, and admiral from the Allied fleet saw his face. "This is Commander Morrow of Earth," he said, steady and clear. "Today, rank doesn't matter. Flags don't matter. Either we fight as one, or we fall as many." He nodded once. "We will hold the line." He ended the message. Then he turned to his crew. "Weapons online. All batteries armed. Defensive grid in place. Let's begin." The swarm hit fast. The first wave descended like meteors, spinning and cutting through space. Earth's Dreadnought fired first, twin singularity blasts that tore 2 enemy vessels apart instantly. Council ships followed. Fighters raced ahead. Cruisers formed defensive rings. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. At first. Then the second wave came. Larger ships. Heavily shielded. They tore through the defense lines like claws through paper. One R'Lari warship exploded in fire. Another Talari frigate was swallowed whole by a worm-like enemy cruiser. Jackson never flinched. "Pattern Delta 3, he ordered. "Pull back to the gravity edge. Use the Dreadnought's core field." The council ships obeyed, most of them. The enemy followed. Then the trap closed. The Black Dreadnought fired its central weapon, the Void Pulse. A silent shockwave bent gravity itself, slamming into a cluster of enemy ships. They crumpled, crushed by invisible force. The field cleared for a moment. But the swarm kept coming. Mara shouted, "They're adapting. Changing formation." "I know," Jackson said. "Then so will we." He activated the Dreadnought's AI combat system. It took control of nearby drones and Earth-linked vessels, syncing movements, adjusting angles. A rhythm formed in the chaos. Earth ships began weaving between council vessels. They covered weak spots, shielded allies, cleared paths. The enemy couldn't keep up. But then came the worst. A massive enemy ship emerged from deep space, a command creature, shaped like a burning spire, glowing red at the core. "Target identified," said Mara. "It's broadcasting signals. Controlling the swarm." Jackson didn't hesitate. "Prepare jump coordinates. Direct strike." "Alone?" she asked. "Yes. If we cut the head, the body falls." The Dreadnought's engines charged. Space twisted. In a blink, The ship vanished from the battlefield and reappeared behind the enemy command vessel. Jackson stood as the enemy filled the screen. Fire all forward weapons. Ended. The Dreadnought roared to life. Singularity torpedoes, pulse cannons, and particle beams lit the void. The command creature fought back, tendrils slashing through space, launching plasma bolts. But Earth's ship was faster, smarter, stronger. With one final blast, the enemy ship imploded, its core folding in on itself. The signal it sent, the one guiding the swarm, died. And so did the swarm. Across the system, enemy ships faltered. Some drifted. Others exploded. A few tried to flee. The Council fleets pushed forward, cutting down what remained. The sky cleared. The stars returned. On the bridge of the Dreadnought, silence fell. Jackson looked out at the wreckage. It was over. The Black Dreadnought had held the line. Earth had led. And the galaxy had seen the truth. Earth was no longer the shadow. It was the shield. The battlefield drifted in silence. Wreckage floated in orbit around Virex Prime. Burned ships, shattered enemy husks, broken metal tumbling through the stars. Fires glowed faintly in the dark, flickering before dying out. Pieces of the enemy swarm still lingered, lifeless now, without command or purpose. The war was over. But the message had only just begun. Inside the council chamber, the mood was completely changed. Gone were the smirks and mockery, the arrogance and noise. Now there was only quiet respect. Every seat was full. Representatives watched the screen above as it showed the Earth flagship, the Black Dreadnought, gliding silently over the planet like a shadow of justice. Commander Jackson Morrow stood alone in the center of the chamber. He didn't bow. He didn't speak first. He waited. Finally, Senator Riesland stood. "Commander Morrow," he said, his voice calm and steady, "on behalf of Earth, you led us through a darkness none of us were prepared for. We owe you everything." Another counselor rose. Then another. Even members who had laughed before now stood, one by one, in silence. Even Valak Thoin stood slowly, pale and unreadable. Jackson nodded once. "You do not owe Earth anything," he said. "But you owe yourselves a lesson." He walked forward a step. "For too long, you believed strength came from age, from size, from status. You dismissed Earth because we were small, young, quiet." He looked around the room, meeting every gaze. "You saw silence as weakness. You were wrong." He gestured toward the stars. "Out there, silence is a warning. It means someone is gone, erased. It means you waited too long to listen." No one spoke. "You laughed at us," Jackson said simply. "We built the Black Dreadnought not for revenge, but for survival. And now that it's done its duty, Earth asks for nothing except respect. No thrones. No tribute. Only truth." Riesland stepped forward. "Then let it be written. Earth will be granted full command-level recognition within the Council. Your fleets will be trusted. Your voice heard." Valak Thoin finally broke his silence. He stared at Jackson for a long moment, then spoke, soft but clear. "I underestimated you, Commander. I believed power belonged only to those who ruled the stars. But perhaps real power is earned, not inherited." Jackson didn't answer. He didn't need to. The Council's decision was already clear. Later, aboard the Black Dreadnought, the crew gathered on the observation deck. They watched the lights of Virex Prime twinkle below like a sea of fireflies. The stars above were still again. Peace had returned for now. Lieutenant Mara Vance stood beside Jackson. "They're calling this ship a legend now," she said. "Some want to copy the design." Jackson gave a faint smile. "Let them try." He looked out the window, thoughtful. This was only one enemy. The galaxy's full of shadows we haven't seen yet. We can't rely on the Council to be ready next time. "What do we do?" Mara asked. "We stay ready," Jackson said. "We stay quiet. And when the time comes again, we move." The Black Dreadnought, Earth's hidden sword, would remain cloaked, drifting far from Council eyes. It wasn't made to be seen. It was made to be felt, at the moment of greatest need. And in that silence, Earth had found its place. Not as a follower, not even as a leader, but as a force no one would ever ignore again.